Hello everybody and welcome to our December flower of the month. It's Amaryllis and what a treat. Such a showy, fantastic plant, a real celebration of Christmas. So, how do you describe Amaryllis? So it's a bulbous plant, it's really glamorous, it has showy trumpet-shaped flowers and long flat leaves. I say approximately 3 to 4 blooms per stem, and when you purchase them you get between 12 and 20 stems per box. Now that depends very much on the grade that you buy, so if you say for example bought 10 or 12 stems, there would be much bigger blooms in the box than you would if you bought 20. Same size box, so it stands to reason that the smaller the bloom, the more stems you get per box. There are single, double and spider varieties. The common name is Horsemans Star, Night Star, or my favourite common name, Naked Lady. Okay. Native to Peru and the Western Cape of South Africa. We usually have them available between October to the end of April, although I have to say the season is lengthening slightly due to their popularity. Now, the Amaryllis symbolises pride, determination, radiant beauty and love. What more can you say to introduce such a fantastic flower? So when your Amaryllis are delivered, they'll arrive dry packed and flat in boxes. They'll come in really tight buds, so your buds will be in this kind of state. Now the reason for that is open blooms don't travel very well. As you can appreciate, when they get to this stage they are so fragile. They're going to bruise and crack really easy. So they are transported in very tight buds. So you do need to factor that into your event. So depending on when you need them to be fully bloomed, you need to work that back on your delivery date. They can actually be kept in their purpose-built boxes for a few days in a cool, frost-free environment. That allows the delay of development, so obviously you can then coordinate that to your event. So for example, this beautiful one that I have here has actually been in bloom or been in water now for 2 weeks. So that's its 2 weeks development stage, if that's any help to you. So Amaryllis are really fragile, so handle them with care to avoid cracking. If I pick up one of these slightly more bulbous stems, this one might be a better one, you'll see what I mean. If you get hold of them too tightly, you can see how easily they crack and crease. So handle them with care, probably 2 hands really when you're getting them out of the box, just so that the head and the bloom is supported as well as the stem while you're cutting and conditioning. So we also have some other fantastic varieties here. So we have this one here which is called Favour. It's kind of a cerise coloured tone. We have this one here which is called Night Fever. Now this is one of my favourites, absolutely stunningly deep velvet colour, dark red. Then we have a white one called Mont Blanc. Can't really see it in its full glory at the moment because it is quite tightly closed still, but that is a stunning white one. Then we have Red Lion, probably one of the most common Christmas varieties, the Red Lion. Your sort of traditional Christmas red tone. And then we have Red Velvet, slightly deeper colour red. So I'd say Red Velvet is in between these 2 varieties. So you've kind of got degrees of red there, if you like. And then finally, this really funky, fun-looking one. This one's called Tarantula, and this is an Amaryllis nibasta, so it's a spider variety. It's quite funky, that one. Okay, so that's introducing you to some of the varieties. So conditioning. They are really fragile, so when they arrive and you go to condition them, do please be aware that they do need a little bit of support. They do have a hollow stem, so you can actually cut the stem and then turn it upside down. Fill that stem with water, hold your thumb over the end and then plunge it straight into the vase. Then that way it gets water all the way up the whole stem, right up to the neck, where it's actually the most imperative place for the blooms to develop. Okay. I would recommend that any part of the stem, I'm just going to show you, that is cracked, because as you can see, I did say to you they are really delicate. You can see I've just nipped that one and cracked it all the way up there. So I would strongly recommend that you remove any of the cracked pieces or any of the curled pieces before you condition, and make sure that you change the water twice a week, and always clean the vase to remove any bacteria. Over their development time, you will find that actually the stems will curl and split. This is kind of an indication that some of the bugs are starting to set in. So just do remove them, recut the stems, and then put them into fresh, clean vases of water. If you are concerned about the stems curling, in a similar way to calla lilies, then what I recommend you do, I'll just take this one to show you, is take some clear pot tape, or indeed I have known people to use sellotape. Just grab that for you. Remove a small piece of the tape. Okay, and then when you cut the stem, you then wrap sellotape all the way around, or in this case I'm using a clear pot tape, so it's really nice and strong and firm, and that will stop that stem from cracking. They will actually also survive in an upside down position for a period of time if you fill the stems with water. So they don't actually have to be in a vase, they will still continue drinking as long as the stems are full of water. What I would suggest you do is, just to prolong their life, is once the blooms have fully developed and they're starting to fade, you will occasionally find that you get blooms that have died but you've still got buds to come open. So remove those faded blooms and then that will encourage the other buds to develop. So amaryllis can last up to 3 weeks if they're in a cool environment. If you need them to open really quickly, cut the stems that little bit shorter. Therefore the water's got less distance to travel and the blooms will open up that little bit more quickly. And if you do want them to open again, as I'm saying, a little bit more quickly, put them in lukewarm water, sort of blood temperature water, in a nice bright spot, but away from direct sunlight and away from a direct heat source. So definitely not above a radiator or above a fire. If you want to enjoy them for that little bit longer, keep them in a cool environment, out of sunlight, and at night remove them from your warm room, put them into somewhere much cooler, frost free though, and then return them back again to enjoy for the rest of the day. I have to say, what better flower to welcome your guests this Christmas. They are so stunning, they create a real wow factor, and they don't give off the strong fragrance that lilies do. So if you've got guests arriving that are allergic possibly to that strong fragrance, these are a perfect showpiece to use. Wide variety of colours, and they always are reliable because they develop well. I say they give absolute pleasure, and you can use them for all manner of arrangements, which you will be able to find out about if you stay tuned to our how-to guides for the rest of December, where we show you what to do with these fantastic flowers. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope I've inspired you to treat yourself to some amaryllis this Christmas. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to welcoming you back again very soon. Bye for now.